No, I'm fucking getting sick of a lot of this shit. I gotta. I don't know what the hell I ought to do, man. They'll try to, convince me to be in a better mood or something. I'm literally in a situation where it's like I'm being stalked by people. I got fucking stalkers and shit, right? I got people fucking with me everywhere I go. Basically, I mean, in a fucking sort of low key sort of a fucking way, low key fucking with me, right? Like somebody, I don't know, like little fucking shit, like people like follow me around making comments about where the fuck I parked or things that I said or did, places that I've gone to and stuff like that, and let me know that I'm being fucking followed and fucking people, cruising by like spying on me and fucking shit like that, right? People fucking somebody took one of my little little that doesn't fucking matter all that much, little cheap ass floodlight thing that I put up and decided to rip it off the wall and fucking break it. Some fucking stupid bullshit. I mean, it's fucking cheap as fuck, so you got like fucking 8 or 9 of the damn thing, so. Alright, managed to move the fuck out of here. I probably wouldn't have even. I doubt I would have even bothered to bring it with me. Well, if it was somebody that lives here, then congratulations, you're a dumbass, and you can enjoy the pitch darkness during a fucking power outage instead of being able to see your way up and down the fucking stairs, right? Whatever. And DoorDash is, slow as fuck and almost seems fucking pointless. I tried to, load up my car with about fucking $1,800 worth of my stuff to drive to another town because I know that the pawn shop or anything like that in this town, they're just gonna say, "Oh, well, that thing that's worth fucking $900. Gee, yeah, I'll give you $3 maybe. I might could do $3, but I don't know." That's pretty much where we're at with that. And like every goddamn thing I own is like I could have the fucking Mona Lisa or damn mint condition Stradivarius, and people would be like, I don't know. I'll give you 50 cents maybe. That's kind of where the fuck I'm at, right? I don't know about anybody else that experiences the Mandela effect and all the weird synchronicities and shit, but I experienced that. But I experienced more than that. See, what the Mandela effect likes to do with me, other than all just the weird changes and stuff, is it likes to fuck me over any possible way. Like the universe, the targeting, whatever the fuck, right? Let's say, okay, let's just hypothetical scenario, right? Here's the sort of shit that the universe or the perps or whatever the fuck is out to get me will do in my situations a lot of the time, right? Let's say I wanted to. Okay, I can find. How do I put this? Well, like, okay, I could probably go into when it comes to finding things of value, I'm probably every bit as good, if not, well, at least every bit as good as like the guys from fucking Antique Pickers. Like I could probably walk into a Goodwill or a Teen Challenge with $50 and walk out with $2,000 worth of shit, right? Or more, right? Just about. Like I could be like, 150 yards away in some store and be like, oh, hey, it's a Picasso on the wall over there, Oh, hey, that's or I could look through a stack of suits and, just automatically reach for the one that's a $5,000 suit that's sitting next to the, $50 or $100 suits that are hanging right next to it and buy it for fucking $20 or whatever, right? I can spot a pair of shoes that's worth fucking, that's a $400 pair of shoes. I can spot, shit like that, right? I have that talent, that ability, right? But then when it comes to selling anything, right? It's like, no. Yeah, okay. Actual examples. One time when I was younger, like I helped one of my dad's friends with a moving job, and he had a bunch of old computers in his garage. He gave me a bunch of old, computer parts and stuff like that, and I built like 8 different computers, set them up with Windows 7. This is years ago, or whatever, right? And I was just gonna, sell them for like $100 a piece. I had monitors, keyboards, had the towers set up decent. I was gonna sell them for like 100 to 125, something like that a piece. And they were all working. They were all working good, all set up very good. Had up to date, everything and virus protection and everything on them. And then I tried to post them for sale online, and there's like, and they were cheaper than anybody else trying to post computers at the time of that caliber. And so 2 things happen. One, suddenly there's a bunch of other people trying to sell computers cheaper than me and undercut me. And 2, I'll get calls from people interested in the computer, try to set up a meeting, then I'll go grab the computer that they were interested in, plug it in, hook it up, and guess what? Doesn't work. Something wrong now. Out of the fucking blue. And this happened, what, 5, 6, 7, 8, however many fucking times in a row. So the computers just got fucking trashed. I don't know what happened. If you want to explain it technologically, maybe someone hit them with a fucking magnet, or I don't know what the hell happened, but something fucked them, right? Let's say I had no money and I was thinking, gee, I need a mini fridge, right? I could go on Craigslist or wherever, right? And be like, oh, yeah, the mini fridge is too expensive, whatever, right? I don't know. I could go, or okay. I was just looking on there and just browsing through Craigslist. I see mini fridges for sale. There's only a couple of them, and they're all being sold for, say, $150 or $200 or whatever, right? Well, then a time comes where I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I'll sell my mini fridge to come up with a couple bucks. Well, then I'll look on Craigslist, and all of a sudden everybody's giving mini fridges away, and they're selling them for fucking $20 and stuff like that. Hmm. Got a Miss Pac-Man arcade machine, from, made and sold in 2020, right? selling on Walmart, Amazon for like $400, not counting shipping, basically for the most part. Yeah. We'll see how I take that and I try to sell it, right? Be a miracle if someone decided to say, "Hey, I'll give you $100 for it." That'd practically be a fucking miracle. I just had somebody offer me $30 for one of the fucking things, right? I have two actual sword. I have two rapiers actually made in Toledo, Spain. Right? Which, if anyone knows any damn thing about swords, knows that that is like an area of the world renowned for having produced the best swords in the world for hundreds and hundreds of years, No, can't get anything for that. Nope. Oh, you got a compound bow and a quiver full of arrows? I'll give you $5 maybe. Right? Like, I literally feel like, well, it's kind of like this. Like, I'm the type of guy that I could go out, like, say I had money to go out and search for things with, right? If I really searched hard to find things of value, like if I had done this with the 50 G's that I had 2 years ago, I didn't do this much, but if I had really like just gone out and blown it thinking, oh, I'll get all these valuable things that I can resell, right? And say I managed to find a Stradivarius, and I found a fucking Picasso painting, you know, I could have the fucking Mona Lisa. People would be like, "I'll give you $3," you know, basically. Yes, I have the actual Michelangelo's David in my storage facility. Oh, shit. I could maybe give you $20 for it. Right? That's about where I'm. Gonna how the fucking universe treats me. Trust the universe, bro. That's what the fucking universe does to me, man. Basically. Got my apartment right now. I'll have a motel room in it. The sort of shit I go through, right? Okay, so for a little while, for like a year, yeah, year and a half, like almost a year and a half actually, I lived in a fucking motel in town, right? And for the first little while I was there was like almost nobody at the motel. I mean, you look at the parking lot, it'd be like 2 cars, 3 cars, maybe, right? Or say I get a apartment somewhere, I move in, and there's like 1 or 2 cars parked there, and then like within a short time after I get there, it's like fucking wall to wall cars parked everywhere around, and fucking weird looking goddamn vans, and shit that looks like government issued, all kinds of weird shit, Like I moved in this fucking motel the last time. By the end of the, And numerous times where it'd be like fucking, we had like biker gang fucking show up at the damn motel, like literally sitting there. It's fucking like, you know, outlaw fucking biker gangs like hovering around outside. The other time there's like fucking, you know, numerous, you know, conspicuous looking fucking white vans with tinted windows parked in the parking lot out front of my fucking room for all the time I was, you know, for months that I was there, basically. Right? Everywhere I go, I'm followed around by these fucking cars, you know, similar looking. And they like to change the colors of the cars sometimes with this, you know, similar style of car, you know. Not something you see all the time unless you're me or somebody in the same similar situation. You know. For a while there, I was doing DoorDash, making like $150 to $200 a day, managing to pay the bills and everything. And it wasn't until I started doing that for a while, started succeeding, that all of a sudden we got full parking lots at the fucking motel, bunch of fucking, you know, mostly fucking like rich people parked all around, you know, rich look cars that were, you know, expensive vehicles, expensive like white vans with blacked out windows, and fucking biker gangs and shit showing up, you know, right? Which was not the case for like most of the time I was there until I started actually working and trying to make money, and I start getting followed around and everywhere I go more, and you know, finding that, well, like, okay, let's say I just was randomly go for a drive, right? Let's say, well, I'll map out like two different hypothetical scenarios here, right? In one scenario, I plan to go to Safeway to pick up some groceries or something, right? And I say something about it or thinking out loud about it or whatever, right? Obvious that that's where I'm going, whatever, right? Somebody knows, right? Then I get to Safeway and the whole parking lot is full of fucking people and the store is packed and I can't really get in and out of the fucking parking lot, and there's all kinds of fucking people in the way and people fucking staring at me and shit, and right? In another scenario, I'm not planning to go to Safeway. I'm gonna go somewhere completely different. And at the last minute I decide, oh, I'll go Safeway. Turn in, there's like 3 or 4 cars in the parking lot, almost nobody there. I get in there, people look like they're startled, like there's like a message coming over, fucking hero, hero, you know. People are like freaking out on each other, look like they're trying to get into character or some shit, right? Quick, get into character, he's here, you know. Shit, why didn't you tell us that Truman was here? Quick, quick, get into character, everyone. Set the scene. I'll walk into fucking stores or restaurants, fucking people, total strangers I've never fucking seen before in my life. They'll fucking call, they'll you know, I'll say I'll buy something or checkout stand or get a soda or some shit. Someone says, okay, here you go, Joel. Yeah, they know my fucking name. You know, complete fucking strangers I've never met before. never spoken to before know my name, even in like fucking town, multiple towns over or something, right? You ever had complete stranger walk up and stand right in front of you, hold their phone up in the air to take a selfie in front of you? You ever had that happen? I have. I've been followed around in numerous towns by the same fucking cars and the same fucking people as far as 50, 60, 80, 100 fucking miles away. I have. Right? Let's say your name was Bill or something, right? And you decided to take a drive and you drove I don't know, 100 miles away from where you live, or 150 miles away. And you get there to this place surrounded by people mostly people you've never seen before. You go into a convenience store to fill up a soda, right? Total fucking strangers behind the counter. You fill up the soda, that'll be $1.50. And they say, "Have a nice day, Bill." Right? You go back to your motel and say you sit out on the balcony, or you go downstairs to have a smoke or something. And you look around, you see people that you recognize from your fucking hometown, like fucking, you don't know them, but you've seen them around. You've seen and you see the fucking vehicles you recognize in the parking lot, and people just hovering around, fucking walking around like nonchalantly, fucking looking over at you or staring at you from a distance and shit like that. Yeah. Welcome to my fucking life, dude. That's it. That's one aspect of it, right? One aspect of it. There's other aspects that are just fucking strange as shit, right? Like, how many doppelgangers do you guys see? People that look just like people that you recognize. Some, some look like famous people, you know. I don't know, there's a number of people around town that I've seen that look like numerous famous people. I actually know this. Okay, the name Bill, like, right? I know a guy named Bill, right? And I've seen like at least 4 different versions of him just recently, like almost on a daily basis as I'm driving around town. There's one guy that looks just like him, only looks to be like 20 or 30 years older than him, but looks just like him and has a beard and stuff, though. Over behind a grocery store, and then there's like a thinner old version of him too that looked over on 2nd Street or whatever. Numerous others, right? As far as actors, right? Couple of people around town I see, and not just around town, but I've seen them in other towns too that look like well, I've seen the dude that looks like he's from the dude with the long beard from Gas Monkey Garage, right? I think he's off the show or something now, but I think I've seen him around. I've seen I'm pretty actually. I think that actually probably was him. There was like a car show in town, but never mind. That's a different thing. See a dude that looked like Harrison Ford, and I guess it could have been. Could have been. I heard he lives somewhere around here, so I guess that's possible. See, some dude around here and there that looks like Rick from The Walking Dead. Right? There's one dude around, rides a bike around, looks like the actor from that show, The Punisher on Netflix. Yeah. Except he had a beard. Yeah. I see people around a lot of times that look like people I know. Old friends and family members. Then I'm running into people that, like, lately that I haven't fucking seen in like 10 fucking years, 15, 20 years. I'm fucking seeing them all over the place. Go to a fucking store, they'll be parked right next to me, fucking standing outside my fucking car door. Hey, how's it going? All right. Yeah. People leaving fucking messages on my answering machine about how I'm parked or something on the road because they've apparently been following me around and fucking driving past and finding my car so they could make some comment to let me know that they've been creeping around fucking by my car or something. Right? Like in my situation. Now, I mean, sometimes I can find I'm really good at finding deals on stuff, right? Especially when I don't have the money to afford it, right? It's like, wow, that really cool thing is only $10. If only I had $10, right? Then all of a sudden something happens. I've got thousands of dollars. I see the same thing. Oh, look, it costs many thousands of dollars, which is more than I can afford. Right? And like, it's like vehicles, right? I'm thinking about selling my car to try and get something else, right? But, well, I was thinking like a minivan, something that I could potentially put some kind of a bed in, so that if I end up fucking homeless, I don't have to be homeless under a fucking tarp or sleep in the, curled up in the back of a fucking car in some parking lot with a bunch of creeps fucking following me around. At least I could have a bed, some curtains. So certainly, I suppose they could get a lot closer to come around and fuck with me or whatever in that situation, probably. If I don't haul ass like fucking to the other side of the country or something. Probably at the very least. Honestly, I don't even know how far this shit extends. If it's just this area this part of the country that I'm in, or if it's like everywhere. I mean, for all I know, I could fucking, go all the way to like Florida or fucking end up in, you know, whatever, somewhere in the south all the way to the fucking coastline or something, and I could end up fucking running into the same damn people following me around. That could happen. Well, my only thought on that is that it would become. It's already fucking obvious as shit to me, but it would be like really, really damn obvious, you know, more than they like to be obvious, I would think. If I was. I mean, like I said, if I don't make specific plans necessarily about where the hell I'm going, and I can manage to lose whichever vehicles are directly following me and block the fucking GPS and every other damn thing, and just go on down the fucking road and take unexpected turns and things like that, I can get to some place where I'm not fucking surrounded for a while. For a while. Till somebody fucking figures out where I'm at. People start calling me up, sending me messages, whatever, trying to find out where I'm at exactly. What are you doing? Where are you going? Where are you at? Mm-hmm. I know there's another dude on YouTube named Regato Bonner. He used to have a lot more videos on his channel. I wish he would have left them up, but he talks, he talked a lot more in depth about a lot of the sort of shit that I deal with. He has some interesting stories of his own. He's got some of them up still. He talked about how random people come up talking shit to him and he's trying to fix his fucking van or something. And about how he tried to go buy some other van that was like hundreds of miles away. He was getting ready to take a bus and had the deal, basically a deal. And he calls the guy up to make sure it's there. He gets on the bus and the guy says that the fucking police showed up and fucking wanted to tow the fucking van away. Right? And then later on, he fucking tries to interested in buying an RV. He goes to look at it. And he ends up getting locked inside. And the thing bursts into fucking flames. He has to bust out a window to crawl out the window. Gets burns all over. Ends up in the burn ward. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, maybe maybe he's a little. Well, He's in what I believe is an even worse location. And, generally more vocal than I have been, has more of an audience. So, I mean, the shit I go through, it can get a lot worse. It amplifies or declines based on whatever I'm doing. Basically, what seems to be the case is that they like me to be isolated, to only have them, the perps, around here, when they feel like it, to monitor and gather intel on me. Basically, they don't want me to have any genuine connections with fucking real people. They'll go out of their way to do anything they can to keep that from happening. To try to strip me of any support structure or, well, like if I managed to get a girlfriend, it would come with, for her, with the extra added bonus of having people fucking start stalking her, and uh, weirdos fucking hitting on her, and you know, I mean, I could get a girl that nobody was ever interested in a million years, like that hasn't had anyone hit on them in fucking 10 or 15 years, 20 years or something, and hasn't had anyone fucking flirt with them or hit on them. And then all of a sudden they get with me. They go to a grocery store and fucking five or 10 guys are fucking trying to hand her their phone number. Hey, baby. If I'm not around, right? And fucking women are coming up to him. Oh, hey, how's it going? Hey, let's hang out sometime. You should come over to this party we're having, right? Like that kind of shit happens, right? If I get a girlfriend, then suddenly she's got new friends, guys hitting her up, and women hitting her up, being her friends, so they can talk a bunch of shit about me behind my back and fucking turn the woman against me, or try to lure me into situations that would get me in fucking trouble, stuff like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I don't know how long it's been since I've even had a girlfriend that wasn't a plant. And when I say a plant, I mean a fucking perp that was sent to monitor me, basically. Someone that was sent to monitor me or trap me or something, keep track of me, or if not, then they get, surrounded by people that are their new friends. I said it like that because of that Ron White thing, but no, it's just, yeah, no, that's what happens. That's what fucking happens, dude. And sometimes you meet someone who you think is cool or whatever, right? Who comes off as being cool, like, oh, I'm one of you, or whatever, right? And then they'll be fucking stalking me too. And then they start, showing all the traits of being another fucking perp stalking me, basically. weird. I was feeling all dizzy and like tired, not wanting to go and do anything. Came sat down here for a little. I still feel kind of out of it. And I wouldn't have but maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours, probably an hour and a half of fucking daylight left at this point. So I don't know if it'd even be worth it trying to dash. I turned dash now on like a couple times today, but the first time turned on like 10 a.m. Hung around in Lebanon until, well, I paused it for like, or turned it off or paused it or something for like 10 minutes. Or I turned down the first one because I was busy, and it also was kind of a shit offer. Freaking shop and deliver for Safeway for $4. Like, I mean, even if it's just a few items to go shop and deliver at Safeway, here's what that entails. I sail my boat of a car into the parking lot, which is, if I'm going there and they know I'm going there, then it's a fucking full parking lot pretty much. One or two spots where I can possibly park my car way on the fucking end of the parking lot. I gotta walk like a couple hundred yards into the fucking store and, search around and find the shit. And then if I'm lucky, maybe it's stuff that I can actually just scan and take to the checkout. But either way, the time it takes me to get in there and get out of there and deliver the shit, it's going to be fucking probably a half an hour or more time down the fucking drain. So it's not even fucking worth it. Half hour. And if there's more stuff, it could be an hour or more. It's not even worth it unless it's, high dollar about, And, I get pain in the ass shit, but, all shop and deliver is kind of a pain in the ass, even if it's only one or two things usually. Especially if it's somewhere like Safeway. It's a lot of footwork, a lot of walking around, a lot of, or jogging or whatever in my case sometimes, just to try to make things move faster, I'm curious, for other people that do DoorDash, do you get a whole bunch of people that, well, okay, a couple things. For one thing, do you get a whole bunch of people with fake names? And do you get a whole bunch of people with the exact same names over and over at a bunch of different locations? Like if you have someone that their name says they're Jake D or whatever, right? Do you deliver things to Jake D at 5 different addresses? You see, do you have names popping up that say shit like, make it look like their name is Hunter S. Thompson, or names like Dat Boy? Names that aren't even real names. They're just like handles that, stuff like that. No, it's like a McDonald's delivery for Joe Mama or Jack Mehoff or whatever, You got a delivery for shit sandwich? Alright. Hello, is there a shit sandwich here? Got your food. You are what you eat. Alright. Now, do you get that kind of crap showing up when you're in your feed, or is it just me? Okay, so like 10, I went out, right? I took a break at first. I picked up the mail. My dad sent me some things for Christmas. I got some like long johns and some socks. But I was thinking, I thought I'd check first because I was going to go buy some warmer socks. he did send me socks, but he sent me the kind that I told him that I really like that kind of socks and my favorite socks and everything. But yeah, I've already got a bunch of them, and because over the years, things like socks accumulate. You got a bunch of them. Besides that, I do like those socks, but they're not that. They're great. They're more of a summertime sock, you know. I mean, they're fine, and I can go out in wintertime in them, but like my feet are getting freaking cold, and I wanted to get some warmer socks. I went and blew about almost $20 on fucking socks. Buy my own damn socks, and I found out that they were like those socks again. I needed to get some warmer socks than those ones. But anyways, yeah. So after all that, though, I turn on Dash Now. I sit in a fucking parking lot for like the next 45 minutes. Not a single fucking order comes in. 45 fucking minutes. So then I'm thinking, oh fuck, I'll just have to, I'll just bite the bullet. I'll go, drive over to the next town, because I know that anywhere in this town I try to sell shit, I'm gonna get fucking screwed. So I'll try driving to the next town over, swing in someplace and see if I can get a better offer for stuff. So I go and grab, this nice, like, I mean, okay, it's a little rusty at this point. There's been some moisture apparently, but that can all be cleaned up very, very easily. It's like a 400. I don't know, with the carrying case and the grill part that goes with it, it's probably honestly like a $500 or $600, camp stove, barbecue grill / stovetop, really nice. That's what they sell for on like Amazon and shit, the Camp Chef. But it's got it's like top of the line, best of the Camp Chef thing, with the carrying case and the carrying cases and the grill part and, everything included. They weren't even interested in that. Tried to offer me $30 for each for the gaming systems that are, one of them I could see them wanting to make a profit and trying to offer me 50 or 60 for the one, and then making 3 times that when they resell it or something, probably. And I could see them maybe trying to offer me $100 for the other, so they could jack it up fucking 2.5 or 3 times that. But they tried to offer me $30 each for them. Like, no. And, basically weren't interested in anything else. I don't know. Fucking sold a helmet for fucking like a PAS GT helmet. About $250 or something is what it's worth, I believe. I guess you can pick them up on eBay for maybe $75, $100. Well, here's the thing though. See, before I had one, that was not the case. But as soon as I had one, then all of a sudden, a bunch of people are selling them really cheap. So you're welcome, I guess. You're welcome, rest of the world. Because every time I have something that I'm thinking I can resell for a bunch of money, suddenly there's 100 other fucking people that are like, shit, he's got something that might be worth money, quick. Fucking, sell hundreds of them for cheaper than what he wants, I feel like with my luck, like I could win $150 million in the lottery after taxes, and by the time I got the fucking money, the dollar would crash and be fucking worthless. I'd be like, oh, it's worth about $5 now, right? But then everybody else would look at me like, what's wrong with you? Why didn't you just get the mark of the beast? We all got the mark of the beast. All the people pretending to be like in the same situation I'm in would be like, oh yeah, it's terrible. It's horrible out there. As they sit in their nice big fucking house with their fancy car and their fucking money and, so on and so forth. Oh, fuck it. I don't have to get sauce, but I can crack one. It's too late to make any more money today. I sold the little bit of silver I had left for below spot. To come up with another $20. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of money right now. Honestly, I could access, okay, I'm in a position right now where I probably could get a credit card, right? And I could possibly maybe take another, I'm not sure if I can take another small loan out against my CD if I wanted to, but no, probably not until it's all paid off. I might be able to take like $100 back out of it if I wanted to, until I reverse my payments and stuff, but nah, screw that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not that far away. I've got some like presidential dollars and collector's quarters, which, with my fucking luck, to somebody else, right? My collector's quarters would be like somebody who has connections and people that in a world that doesn't, treat them like fucking dog shit. They would take the collector's quarter up to, just about anyone. Like, oh, I'll give you $5 each for those. Right? But me, they'll be like, oh, 25 cents. Yeah. Now, when it comes to like silver and gold and stuff like that, people want that, It's not like, I mean, I'm not, people won't turn down something that, as long as they, as long as they know that they're kind of fucking they're screwing me over and they are going to make a profit on what, they'll give me money as long as they're going to make a big profit off of it and I'm getting screwed over. I can get some money. I just not anywhere near what the fuck shit is actually worth to anybody else who actually has any goddamn connections or fucking ability to sell shit, right? Somebody who the world is on their side, Well, when I try to sell anything, I get the same kind of treatment that a southern farmer that owns a bunch of land would get from the Pinkerton men and the railroad companies, We're going to declare eminent domain on you. We're going to send our thugs out to beat your ass, to take your land. Right? That's pretty much the way that's pretty much my life situation. you haven't kept up on your bills now. We're gonna have to find any way we can to finagle our way into stealing your shit. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much the way I'm treated by the fucking world that I don't trust the universe, bro. You just have to love and light and trust the universe, man. Yeah. I don't know, maybe all these people talking about this shit, maybe they're right in a sense, but it's pretty fucked about how pleased they are about it. Like, oh, our reward isn't in this world, you know, because we're not of the world, right? Oh, isn't that nice? So the shit fucking, dirtbag fuckheads and sit in their fucking mansions or have their everything fucking covered for them forever. They fly around in their fucking private jets and fucking sail around in their yachts drinking baby's blood or whatever. And we get to fucking, have to get chased all over the place and sleep in our fucking car or something, huh? But love, light, peace, love, bro. Yay. I don't know, man. I totally don't vibe with this fucking world. Because I'm not of it. I don't think there's damn near anything I can do, really. Even if I try as I might to do the things that are of the world in order to accrue possession, wealth, some sense of comfort or anything, and it fucking kind of goes to shit, basically. I mean, it's like not entirely. Okay, I mean, there's people in worse situations, don't get me wrong. I know. But I ain't too far off. Like, dude pushing around, the people pushing around the shopping cart of shit, with like a fucking ratty blanket wrapped around their head or something, fucking huddled in a corner of the fucking parking lot, and they'd be holding up the damn cardboard sign. Anything helps, right? I'm not fucking too ridiculously far off from, I mean, right now, I'm like, I have an apartment, I have a nice car, starting to build a credit score. Okay. But I'm really only like maybe essentially like a few $1,000s away from being pretty much damn near in this situation that they're in. And some of them might even be in a better situation in some ways, that they just choose in a materialistic sort of a way, but they choose to get the fuck away from it because the world just sucks that much. No, there are people, I shit you not, plenty of people that you see a guy pushing a shopping cart or whatever with some crap huddled in the corner, sleeping out in the fucking cold and stuff, right? What you don't know is that guy owns a fucking house. He's got a house and a fucking $50,000 pickup truck parked in the driveway at his house, you know? But he's letting his his ex-wife and his kids live there or some shit, right? Or his cousins or whatever the fuck, right? And he's just had to get the fuck away from him. But he cares about him too much to fucking storm in there and say, fuck you guys, I'm taking my you know. Or they have a bunch of people or a bunch of friends that they could go live with them or whatever, but they'd make their life a living hell kind of thing. Like they have places to go, but not where they can have independence away from the fucking people that taunt them and fucking haunt them and make their life a living fucking hell. So they'd rather sleep under a tarp or live in their car and fucking drive across the country to get away from the fucking bullshit that follows them around if they stick around their fucking hometown or whatever. That's kind of a... I'm just about to there, you know? I like to make it through this winter at least. Figure out something passable to something reliable. And get a fucking decent minivan. Maybe something a little more sizable than a minivan, but not quite so big as a big camper van, as much as that would be cool. It wouldn't be very good for DoorDash, though. If I'm going to go fucking traveling around, I got to be able to have something that I can, you know, preferably got a little horsepower, can turn on a dime, enough space to have, you know, people's food or whatever around, and also room in the back for me to be able to have a bedroom and sleep and store some of my stuff and whatever the heck, right? There's got to be something reliable. It's not going to fucking break down on me. I don't know. The fucking rent is too damn high, as the man said. That's a fact, dude. People are paying more every month to live in a fucking tiny room in buildings that, you know, 100 years ago they could have bought the whole fucking building for less than what they're paying to live in a tiny fucking basement room for a month. You know, it's fucked. Even 20 fucking years ago, they could have, you know, shit that's like 800, you know, the lowest price thing's $800-900 now. Fucking 20 years ago was like $100. 40 years ago was like probably 25 or $30 a month, you know. $50-60 years ago, fuck, you know. I mean, the truth of the matter is, most of these like houses and stuff that people are making had turned into these apartment complexes and stuff like that. It's little old fucking buildings, man. 40 years ago, 50 years ago, you could have bought the whole fucking building for less than what you'd pay to live there for 6 months now in a fucking tiny room in the place, basically. People did. Now those people are sitting back raking in fucking dough. Everybody else is living day to day. I didn't go out and do DoorDash today. I had it turned on a couple times, but fucking shit wasn't coming in, and I didn't feel like doing it, and I just got tired, kind of dizzy. Said, "Fuck this," you know. I need to fucking post shit up for sale, anyways, man. I need to like put a bunch of shit online, try to fucking sell shit, because, well, hell, 'tis the season, right? Got to be able to sell some shit. Maybe somebody will want to do some last minute Christmas shopping for cool shit or whatever, and they can find some of my stuff. I'll probably cover the fucking bills for January. And then we'll see what the fuck I can do for February. I'm a little short right now, but I'm not that far off from the rent. Nothing that 3 or 4 days dashing my ass off couldn't handle anyways nowadays. Would have been like one fucking day back in like September, but yeah, 1 or 2 days in September is like the equivalent of 5 days now. Shit. I mean, I'm paying for my own fucking gas and shit, man. I need to be making about minimum $150 a day. Well, yeah, because don't know about you. I don't like the whole barely scraping by situation. It's not my favorite situation. Be nice if I didn't have to pay a fat deposit. Then I'd still have another $1,000. Another fucking 6 or 7 months or however long it takes me. I'll have another, have my $500 plus interest back to use as I feel like. Because I'm going to pay that because, the purpose of that is to develop a credit score. You could see it was already working, so good, I guess. I mean, I could get a credit card, some sort, I could probably get like a small loan against things or against my credit or whatever the fuck, probably, if I wanted to, if I had to. But I really don't know that much about what I'm doing with that shit, and what I do know is I'm not. If I did have to do that shit, like I don't do that. I wouldn't do that shit as willy nilly as other people do. I'm not gonna fuck my credit. Like if I want to build a credit score, I'm not gonna fuck it up. I'm gonna make sure it gets paid, even if that means that I end up living in a fucking car or something. Yeah. Because I don't want to be living week to week, month to month. It's barely scraping by. I don't want to pay for not my box forever. One thing you get from these love and light people say, find your passion, find something you love doing, and a way to make money at it, and you find your passion, and then that sounds good. Yeah, sounds nice, but on the other hand, Isn't that just like a more rosy, sunshiny sort of a way of saying, go be a slave to money, but in a way that makes you happy? Right? I don't know. It's pretty much just like a sunshinier outlook on doing the same shit everybody else is doing, essentially. I mean, kind of. Go chase the paper, but in a way that's happy. I don't know, man. Mm. For no man can serve two masters. No, you hear all this shit, right? If you read the Bible, there's a lot of people, Bible thumpers around, right? So what do you think of these things? For it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. How do you feel about that little quote from the Bible? You hold the boughs of the birds of the field, for they sow not, neither do they reap nor gather into barns, but your heavenly Father feedeth them. How much greater are you than they, O ye of little faith? Right? The lilies of the field, for Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed as one of these. How much greater are thee? Right? No man can serve two men. Build up for yourselves, not build not up for yourselves treasures on the earth where moth and dust. What is it? I think it said moth and dust, but that's sort of weird. Doth corrupt and thieves break through and steal, but build up and set for yourself kingdoms and treasures in the kingdoms of heaven, where neither moth nor dust corrupt, nor thieves break through and steal. All right? Thus I say to you, sell everything you own, pick up your cross and follow, whatever. Blah, 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 et cetera, right? Personally, I think that some of that shit is a little outdated and unrealistic in the fucking world we live in today. I mean, back in those days, when those things were said, if indeed they were, it was a completely different sort of world. Back in those days, a person could just go anywhere and, chop down some trees, build a cabin, put up a fence, some tools, till up the soil, plant a garden, you know, exchange goods with his neighbors. Go out and hunt, farm. How much does a squirrel pay to live in a tree, but there's nowhere left for you and me? Huh? Really? Do birds gather into barns? Do they reap and sow? Yes. Yes, they do. You know what reaping and sowing mean? Sowing would be like the act of planting a seed. Animals do this naturally. They eat something with seed bearing fruit, and then they produce excrement, and they naturally plant these seeds in the soil, which then grows food, which they then come along and eat. So they do reap and sow. Reaping is when they're eating it, sowing is when they're planting it. That happens naturally. You know, do they gather into barns? Bet your ass they do. You ever been in a barn? I have. I grew up in the country. Lots of my friends had barns. Lots of birds hanging out in there, not to mention bats. Mice. Do mice gather in houses? I don't know. You tell me. They ain't paying fucking rent, though. Those cockroaches in the fucking motel I was staying in didn't cough up 1 red cent to pay for my fucking room. You know, people say time is money. What is your life here made of? What does it consist of but the time you have? You know how when you use, your time, they call it spending time. You notice that? You're spending time. Because time is money, right? Time is the currency. We sell ourselves for slips of paper. So what little time we have here is not our own. We're told that we have free will, that we have freedom in this place. Here you are, child. Here is your home. Be fed and clothed and... Oh, by the way, after your childhood is over, which, by the way, isn't really yours either, because, of course, there's always... You have to go to school, right? Because you have to learn... They don't actually... It really... the sort of things we should be learning in school to live in a world like this, so different. I mean, it's not even about making productive workers anymore. It's just about keeping people asleep so that they don't realize that they're enslaved or who's enslaving them. Fucking 8 hours a day of underwater basket weaving. Bullshit. Nonsense. Useless shit, basically. No, seriously, you got two different kids, right? Same level of intelligence, physical ability, whatever, right? And you send one of them to school where they learn reading, writing, and arithmetic, and language arts, and math, and all that shit, right? And then you send them off to get a degree off into the job land or whatever. The other kid, you teach them a trade. You don't even bother to teach them how to read, write, do math, unless it's required for his trade, right? Like, say you teach one kid, okay, one kid learns how from the time he's young how to fix a watch, the delicate, intricate parts of antique watches or something, right? And clocks. Become someone who is an expert at fixing clocks and knows every little gear and every little gem, everything inside that, and everything, how it works and how to put it together and take it apart, with his eyes closed, right? And then you take the other kid that just got out of college and spent his whole life in school. Which one of those kids do you think is going to go on to have a more successful career? or anything, basically. You teach one kid how, like anything, you could teach a kid how to play the fucking piano, right? And that's all he ever fucking learns, is how to be really damn good on a piano. Who's gonna make more money? The one that plays the piano like fucking Mozart, or the one who's got a college degree? Or you teach one, or you take the kid with the college degree. You got another instance, and the other one, all you teach them is how to be the greatest bowler, how to bowl a perfect game, right? Train that kid up till he can bowl a perfect game, right? Who do you think is going to have an easier time in life? A better time in life? The one who bowls a perfect game and knows nothing else, or the one who went to college? How about you teach one kid to count cards at poker and to be a great poker player, how to, play blackjack, so on and so forth, right? You take that kid versus the one that went to college. Which one do you think is going to end up in a better position? Another instance, you teach one kid to be a great pool player, like a real pool shark. Which one's going to be better? Or you take your kid out and you teach him how to be one of the greatest golfers in the world, like fucking Tiger Woods, or whatever, right? Who's going to end up with the, more likely to end up with a, you know, beach house with a fucking swimming pool? Which one? Seriously. Yeah. What do you think? All those years of schooling teaches you to be obedient to authority, to show up where you're told, when you're told, and do as you're told. To memorize and repeat meaningless bullshit, mundane crap, you know. There's a million instances of this. Say you become great. You teach one kid how to make hats from the time he's small. You teach him how to make hats. He becomes really great at making all sorts of different, fancy looking, cowboy hats, bowlers, all sorts of hats. Knows how to make them all, Which one do you think is going to be more successful? The one that's really good at making hats, or the one that, went through grade school, high school, fucking college degree? Seriously. Or you teach one to be a fucking blacksmith from the time they're a small kid, You teach them to be a farmer, to really have a green thumb, to be able to grow vast quantities of fruit and vegetables, and you leave them with a piece of land, right? You teach them how to sell those at a marketplace in a co-op or something, right? Where's that kid gonna live versus the one who went through all this super expensive schooling and buried up to his up to his eyeballs in debt, Oh, just saying. Or you teach a kid to be a carpenter. You teach him how to make picnic tables and chairs and benches and fancy, like, artistic craft. How to carve ornate, carvings into wood, right? Which one has a better future, that one or the one that got an expert degree in fucking underwater basket weaving or whatever, right? I mean, it's not that don't have innate, talents and abilities to see things, especially to see things that other people don't seem to see, or to just see better ways of doing things. I mean, I'm the type of guy where if I had the resources and stuff, like, and you said, hey, we need a device that can make fish able to climb trees, like, I'd be the type of guy that could be like, yes, I'll be right on that. And I'd figure out a way to fucking build a device so that the fish would be climbing up trees and shit and walking around on all fours. That have robotic fucking legs that were steered by, like, some sort of mechanism powered by the motion of their tail and their fucking spinal cord or something. Be fucking scurrying across the fucking land and shit, Gonna have to outfit them with a breathing apparatus, I can look around at the cities I'm in and see what the fucking problems are, like, in the blink of an eye, and see how everyone's put the fucking cart before the horse, like, where I'm at, and pretty much all the places I've been to, from what I can see. Big fucking problem that they have is well, I don't need to get into it that much, but I mean, it's pretty obvious. They're taking all the massive wealth from selling out to foreign corporations and putting it in their pocket, using it to buy fancy yachts and mansions and Bentleys for themselves, and they do whatever minimum amount of shit they can to try to rake in more dough for themselves, but they leave the infrastructure to rot. They'll expand a city by building tons more businesses and apartment complexes, but they won't build more roads or expand the roads or put in a public transit system or fix the fucking stoplights to make them more efficient, or, you know, build more adequate parking spaces and things like that. They do things just to make everything more difficult, to make everything take longer, to make everything more inconvenient, to waste people's fucking time. I guess I should have gone out and sat around waiting for the dashes to come in, but it didn't look like it was going to be very profitable. I sold a couple of things, so I made up for some losses. I've got a little more stuff, like I suppose I can part with my collector quarters and my damn presidential dollars at face value if I must, to bring my account balance up to a more suitable level. You know, the bills here, like for me right now, would be more manageable. One of the things that's messing with me with my bills is my car insurance company and the storage facility I have seem to like to take payment pretty much whenever the damn hell they please, as opposed to on any specific schedule. You know, it's not like, oh, power bills, you know, or, okay, that's a whole other story. The power bill seems to be most somewhat sort of kind of standard ish. Actually, I haven't been here that long to see. No, they stick it to you too, but they seem to be not as bad at with the fuckery. There's fuckery, but not well. I'll give you an example. Like with a storage facility, for instance, they might charge me. They might decide that they're going to take the fee for the storage facility. You know, 1 month. They'll take the money on, say, the 5th of the month or something, and then come the 26th or 27th of the month, they take it again to cover the next month. Or the 20th or something, you know, it might be 2-3 weeks later, they take the next fee instead of out over time. So I end up with less money to go towards bills when I need it because it's not on a scheduled basis and I don't know when it's going to hit me exactly. I mean, it's probably some sort of way that they figured to eke more money out of me. Kind of. Well, yes and no. I mean, they're kind of basically they're leveraging money so that they have more capital to work with at any given time, and I have less. Oh, we're short of, oh, we need more capital for this investment. Let's just bill people 2 weeks early this time, right? Fuck their bills and what they need. We'll take our money now, right? That's what they do. So that fucks with me some because I'm never quite sure exactly when I'm going to get hit with some of the bills. Wouldn't be such a problem if I had more of an excess, but they're getting me in sort of a debt cycle like damn near everybody. And I'm managing, but I'm realizing, since I've got this apartment, I'm kind of barely scraping by. As soon as I got the apartment, like one thing after another hits me. Excess, savings that I thought I was gonna have ended up disappearing instantaneously when my rear shocks in the car went out, and managed to be last month. I guess I was a little up from where I was before, but just barely. This month, I don't know. Still got a couple of weeks left, I guess, this month, so we'll see. I guess I can certainly see the temptation to go toward the credit card or something, or to take out a loan, or see, because at the moment I have bills, but I'm not in debt. I've been managing to scrape by with my bills and occasionally come out ahead. I was coming out ahead in, August and September, where I started with the DoorDash and everything, and even toward the beginning of October, doing pretty good. But kind of started going to shit, it looks like I'm making a decent amount still some weeks on paper, Like last week, it probably looked like I made $500 or something, right? But in reality, paying for my own gas and other expenses throughout the week and throughout every day, so it's not exactly don't exactly end up with anywhere near that much, really. Everybody wants a piece of you. They want a piece of your soul. They want everything they can get from your wallet. In some ways, I can't count myself as entirely innocent of being desirous of things. But I don't know. I like my four walls and a roof. It gives me some sort of ability to some small degree, be able to keep the wolves at bay. You can howl outside my window or claw at my door, but I have a door to shut in their face, and, you know, they can shit on my fucking porch or whatever, but if I have a porch, they can stay the fuck outside, right? That's kind of how it is. I don't know. I don't know, man. People say we choose to come here. I'd say that's most likely bullshit, but if it's true, then it must have been like false advertising, you know? I'm kind of reminded of, I heard this story about this. There's this guy, I think it was over in, was it Japan or China or something, where there was some show that said, you know, oh, we'll make you famous and you can win some, you know, money and fame and everything if you just come be on our show. And I don't remember that many details about it, but basically they made his life a living hell for like 6 months or a year or something. Made him a fucking laughing stock of the entire fucking country and just fucking mind fuck the shit out of him for a long ass time, and kind of ruined his fucking life essentially, you know. But they gave a good sales pitch that tricked him into fucking signing up for it essentially, you know. That's kind of what I think of if I think of the idea of, oh, we signed up to come here, right? Like, here's how I would imagine it, right? Okay, well, I guess I'll use a TV. I guess rather than, I could give my own analogy, but you've seen the show Running Man, right? The movie Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Where they're like, this'll be easy, just through here, and then they show these guys like, look at our former contestants, and it shows them like sitting around sipping beers with hot ladies around their arm around them in fucking paradise and smiling and laughing and everything. Hey, come on down to our show, right? And then they get there and there's people fucking stalking and trying to murder them, you know, around every corner. And they find the bodies of the guys that they pretended fucking won the game show, like burnt to a crisp in the fucking dark corner of a basement, you know? Like, yeah, that would be a good analogy for this fucking world, basically. Come on down. Paradise, you know. You could win paradise, right? Come on down. Like fucking Running Man or something. I think it's something like that, you know. That's a decent enough analogy. I was just gonna say, I imagine that they were like, you know, like if they were advertising this shit, they're probably like just showing like, you know, sandy beaches and the sunset over, you know, over the horizon, over the ocean, beautiful day, you know, seagulls flying over, beautiful women running on the beach with their breasts bouncing up and down, and, you know, showing like mansions with swimming pools and people laughing and, jumping off of yachts to swim and catching big fish and going on fun adventures and all this kind of shit, right? Look at the beautiful sights all around. You imagine how they would advertise the planet and all the fucking show you all the good stuff, leave out all the bad stuff, right? Kind of like the way that, like, some sleazy salesman could advertise like a really nice old house that were, built on a fucking Indian graveyard or something, haunted by thousands of angry, violent spirits, and it's like fucking the house on a haunted hill or some shit, right? Like, so look at that beautiful house. That's such a beautiful awning. It's got a nice swimming pool in the back, and the neighborhood is lovely. It's got a really nice school, and such wonderful shopping. You'll love your neighbors. Come on in. Oh boy, this sounds like such a great deal. And then you get there and it's like the fucking house on Haunted Hill and the fucking walls are bleeding and shit. Like, that's what this shit is. That's what this shit is. Like, fuck that, Look at the flowers, honey. Look at the flowers. Okay, Carol. Falling for that shit again, Carol.